dirt, no rest for the real. Still spine straight, I'm a soldier, no chill. Snakes in the grass, they creep and conceal. 20/30 vision, better sharpen your steel. We won't stop, I won't quit. Stand for the truth, no counterfeit. Real ones rise, let the fake ones split. Prepare for the lies, let the darkness live. Echoes in the swamp, whispers in the wind. Legacy to build, can't let the devil win. Cash rules the weak, but my soul don't bend. 20/30 knocking, better cleanse that sin. They want us to sleep, but the light stays on. Fake smiles, fake friends, all of them gone. Cages of comfort, we breaking out strong. Roots in the south, but the fight's lifelong. We won't stop, I won't quit. Stand for the truth, no counterfeit. Real ones rise, let the fake ones split. Repent for the lies, let the darkness live. Prepare for the storm, skies turning gray. The wolves in the suit got dues to pay. From the ashes we climb, no time to delay. The real ones prepare for the judgment day. Yeah.
Breaking news at noon. The search is on for a suspect after 2 people are stabbed. This was during rush hour at Grand Central Terminal this morning. Fox 5 obtained an exclusive video of this attack. Let's go out to Fox 5's Arthur Sheehan live at the scene. And Arthur, this all happened on the subway mezzanine at Grand Central.
Well, the video shows it happened actually inside the subway car itself right now. You pointed out police are still looking for the individual who stabbed 2 subway riders this morning on a crowded 456 Lexington line train. This was, as you also pointed out, in the middle of rush hour. Now, there are some reports out there that the individual in this case has been caught. Our information says otherwise, that he is still being sought. In the meantime, you are looking at cell phone video obtained by Fox 5, which was filmed inside the car as this was happening, and it shows at least 2 men were involved in the incident. One of them, who was standing on the floors, was stabbing a second man who appears to leap on the bench seats of the train as that assailant appears to jab him multiple times around the midsection of his body. Now, all the while, strap hangers in the video are seen pushing towards the ends of the car, trying to get out of the way of this violence. And once the subway car doors open, they flood out onto the platform of Grand Central Station. Now, this was the 911 call for this came in at 7:20 a.m. This was on the southbound number 5 train that pulled into the station. Police sources are telling us they believe this began as a verbal dispute before escalating into violence. Now, at this point, let's show you the other video. A 28-year-old male has been stabbed in the abdomen. A 32-year-old male has been stabbed in the abdomen and buttocks. We believe that this individual that's seen on the stretcher was the one that you saw in the video jumping up on the bench seats of that subway car. Both that are at a local hospital. We're not going to say which, just to be safe. Again, 3 people were involved in this incident. 2 of them are victims. They are at the hospital. A perp is still on the loose. A police source gives us a description of the person they are looking for. They describe him as a male, black, in his 30s, about 150 pounds, wearing a black jacket, possibly with a hoodie and possibly with a black hat. They say in all the commotion as those doors opened, he also flooded out with everybody, so they're still trying to find him. That's the latest from here at Grand Central. Arthur Gian.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ARP in the morning. Hope all is well with you guys, man. Appreciate you all pulling up this morning. Hopefully you guys can hear me. If you can't hear me in the chat, put a 1 down there for me, just so I can, just so I know that you guys can hear me. We're not having any technical difficulties at this point, man. So appreciate you guys pulling up, man. I hope all is well. God bless each and every one of you guys. It is Thursday, Friday Eve, and it is Juneteenth, federal holiday. It is Juneteenth. Shout out to everybody that has the day off. Go enjoy it. Do something fun. And if you got to work, hey, unfortunately, the company you work for, hey, won't give you the day off. But I know a lot of people that are off today. So, yeah, go do something fun. Go enjoy yourself. Enjoy the day off. Free day off. Go enjoy it. But I do appreciate you guys pulling up, man. Thank you very much. I hope all is well with each and every one of you guys, man. Before we get things kicked off, man, make sure y'all hit that like button for me. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button for me. And let's see. What else? Let's show some love to some folks in the chat. First person in the chat this morning, shout out to Donald Lovejoy. He says, good morning, Wise, and the ARP family out of Colorado. Thank you very much, man. What's up, Lori Otteson? How you doing this morning? What's going on, Marla? How you doing this morning? And Mark Galvin, how's it going this morning? Tennessee in the building. Shout out to you. What's up, Nanny? How you doing? And B, appreciate you guys pulling up, getting things kicked off in the chat early. I pulled up and I was like, man, we got a lot of folks up in here chatting. Y'all going back and forth, just going away. What up, PK Krillin? Appreciate you pulling up this morning as always. Thank you very much, Allie Summers, for pulling up as well. Shout out to you guys. What up, Cool Ramon? What's going on with you, brother? Big Job Ford, Marie Noose. Appreciate you pulling up this morning as well. Excuse me. What's going on, Diane? How's it going this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. Who else we got up in here? Let me show some love to some folks. And then we're going to get the show started, man. We got a good amount to get into, man. We're going to talk about New York today. We're going to go down to Florida with the craziness. I mean, dude, fake CDLs, really? They're just giving anybody a CDL license. Y'all understand how dangerous that is? We're going to get in that today. We're going to talk a little sports, man. We're going to talk a little bit about the WNBA. It is WNBA season, so we're going to talk about that. You know who we're talking about. We got to talk about Caitlin Clark. There was some craziness that happened the other day, so we got to talk about that as well. Appreciate you guys pulling up. What's going on, Pam Westcott? Hope all is well with you. Hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. What's up, Buddha? How's it going this morning? Appreciate you pulling up as well. Who else we got? Insanity Darling and Larry Montgomery. Shout out to you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for pulling up this morning. Who else we got up in here? YDD Main. Appreciate you pulling up more this morning, brother. Appreciate you pulling up. What's up, Kiwan Lynette? How you doing this morning, sister? Down there in Atlanta. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Hope all is well. What up, Quincy James? How's it going this morning, brother? Now, Quincy James, I know you're in Texas, so you guys in Texas, y'all been celebrating this Juneteenth thing for a long time. It wasn't something that I grew up celebrating. It wasn't a thing being out on the Southeast. I didn't find out about it until, man, I was an adult and I met a few people from Texas. And there was a time that I dated a lady from Houston, and she talked about Juneteenth. And at that time, I didn't know what it was, but she explained it to me, and I was like, oh, so they do cookouts and they celebrate it. And I understand it's more of a regional holiday. Did it need to be a federal holiday? I don't think so. But when I was working in corporate America, I'm not going to be mad at any day that they give us off, right? I'm never upset at a day off. So if you got the day off, enjoy the day off. Let's just keep it real. Enjoy the day off. My homeboy, he's off on a Thursday. He worked for the county. Shout out to him. So I'm never going to be upset at a day off. You know, when I worked in corporate America and when the holiday was implemented and they're like, oh yeah, you get the day off. I'm like, please, I ain't going to complain about a day off. I'm not going to complain about a day off, but it wasn't a holiday or wasn't something that I grew up celebrating. Most of us that grew up on the East Coast, whether it's the South or the North, we didn't know anything about Juneteenth growing up. It wasn't a thing growing up. It just wasn't, and like I said, I didn't find out about it until I was an adult. I was in my mid-20s when I found out about Juneteenth and found out that it was a thing. But again, if you got the day off, man, don't be mad at a day off, man. Enjoy the day off. It's a day off and it's paid. Hey, you can't ask for much more when you're working is to get a day off and you get paid for it. I'm just saying. Enjoy the day. What up, Toy Mafia? What's up, Nelly? How's it going this morning? What up, AK Bauer? Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Who else we got? LeClaire E. Whitlock, appreciate you pulling up this morning. JJ O'Hara, what's going on? What's up, Chad Winstead? Shout out to you, brother. Appreciate you pulling up. Nancy Ratcliffe, Kenneth Moles, appreciate you pulling up. Brian Gable, appreciate you pulling up this morning. Hope all is well. What up, Candace Hall? Sacktown Cali in the building. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for pulling up. Amisa M, appreciate you pulling up. If we got any new people, in the chat or in the stream, please let us know so we can properly welcome you here. Shout out to you, Priscilla Valentine. Appreciate you pulling up. What up, R? How's it going this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. Who else we got? American Girl up in here. Happy Friday Eve. Yes, yes, yes. We're getting close to weekends. I'm telling you, man, these weeks, they fly by. What up, Spaces? What's going on with you, brother? Hope all is well. What's going on? Pam Bokemeyer, appreciate you pulling up. Shout out to you. Who else we got up in here? Leslie Aaron. What up, Robert Dalton? Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Okay, so all of you guys can hear me. I'm glad to see that. Glad to see that. What up, Amethyst Angel? Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. What up, Pop Onaya Shelley? Appreciate you pulling up. What up, Diane? What's going on? Hope you guys are doing well this morning, man. We got a lot to get into. Allison Range, shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. What up, TWB? Shout out to you. Jose Ramirez, shout out to you, brother. Appreciate you pulling up. Hope all is well. Hope all is well. Hope all is well. Mark Skibby, man. What's going on, man? Michigan in the building. Shout out. What's going on, Annie Love? Shout out to you. All right, let's get ready to get things started. What's up, Israel Pena? San Antonio in the house. Shout out, man. My cousin, man. One of my favorite cousins living down there in San Antonio. If you listening, man, I love you, cousin. That's my guy. One of my favorite cousins in the world, man, lives down there in San Antonio, man. I need to get down there and go hang out with him. I need to. What up, G John? How's it going, man? What up? What up? Who we got? Cram session. Shout out to you, North Cac in the building. What's going on? Shout out to you all. Who else we got up in here? All right, we got Jay Sean in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. All right, let's get things kicked off. Marlene Clark, how's it going? Oh, man, let me show some love to Marlene Clark, man, out of Cape Town, South Africa. Thank you very much for pulling up all the way across the daggone pond. Shout out to you, man, down there in South Africa. Shout out to you. What's up, Trisha Spates, out of Roanoke, Texas. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. All righty. B said, oh, you're talking about Juneteenth. B said it's local and it only makes sense locally. Absolutely. I don't think most of us was clamoring for a Juneteenth holiday. Let's just keep it a buck. That was a way for Democrats to pander. Another way, we know that's what they do. They pander. We were not clamoring for a Juneteenth holiday. We just wasn't, And the people that celebrate it, man, they were going to celebrate it no matter what, because that's what they do. I think it's like Louisiana and Texas, maybe Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken. But for the most part, it's that region that celebrated that Juneteenth holiday. And I didn't see anything wrong with it. I didn't feel like I need to incorporate that into what we do, out here on the East Coast or in the Southeast or Northeast. I didn't feel like that was something that needed to be incorporated. It was just, y'all know what it is. It's just another way to pander. That's all it was. That's all it was. What up, RJ Hudson, man? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. But again, I got to say, if you got the day off, enjoy the day off. You can't, a day off that you get paid for, you can't complain about a day off that you get paid for. Enjoy the day. Lord knows I used to. Lord knows I used to. And typically, Quincy said he got Thursday and Friday off. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out, man. Enjoy the extra long weekend. Not only do you get a 3-day, you get a 4-day weekend. Hey, don't be mad at a 4-day weekend when 2 of those days you get paid for. Hey, I ain't mad at you, bro. I'm not mad at you. Not mad at you. Not mad at you at all. Enjoy that. Enjoy it. What's up, Edward O'Brien? Appreciate you pulling up. And Shane Kelly, man, shout out to you. Somebody in the chat, please make sure, we're going to get the show started. Make sure y'all timestamp this for me in the comment section once we end the stream. You're not going to be able to do it just yet, but in the comment section, once the stream is in, somebody in there put a timestamp in there for me. Once I see it, I'll pin it up there to the top so everybody knows that the show is going to start around this time frame. So please do that for me if you haven't done so already. Hit that like button if you haven't done so. I'm not sure where we are, with the likes, but all my blues, please make sure that we are where we need to be at. We have 172 people up in here. Please make sure you all hit that daggone like button. You know. Oh, B B, you a mess. So is Van taking Juneteenth off? I don't know. Is he not on today? Did he not? Is he not streaming? Is he not doing anything today? I didn't get a chance. I was running a little behind, so I didn't have a time to jump on the stream. A lot of times I like to jump on there and see what he has going on over there before I kind of kick things off, but I was kind of in a rush. But hit that like button if you could. What's the other thing? Super chat, super thanks. They'll stop the show. Obviously, I definitely appreciate you guys supporting the channel. I think that first video is probably going to make the stream basically demonetized today because of the opening video there. But I wanted to showcase that because we got to talk about the lunacy that is coming out of New York City. We got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about it. So hit the like button. Super chats will stop the show. Super thanks will stop the show. Anybody that joins the ARP family, that will stop the show. They will be acknowledged as well. Appreciate you guys, man, pulling up as always, man. Appreciate you guys supporting me. We gonna get things going. And that opening clip, graphic video of a stabbing attack that happened in New York City on the subway yesterday morning. And it's just a stark reminder of just how bad things have gotten out there in New York City right now. Because while this is happening, what Governor Hochul did, let's be respectful, Governor Kathy Hochul, what she did, she was out there announcing a $50 million for legal services for illegals. She is giving $50 million for legal services to illegal immigrants. So I would assume this is another way for them to launder money to all their rich, wealthy lawyer friends. So their rich, wealthy lawyer friends are going to take these cases, $50 million. Think about how much money and who that money is going to. Because the money really, it's going to illegals, it's going to the illegal immigrants for legal services. But who's really getting the money? Think about that. What's up, Dawn? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up, sister. It's good to see you in the chat. Shout out to you. But come on, man. $50 million for legal services for illegal immigrants? Who's getting the bread? Y'all know who's getting the bread. It's the wealthy lawyers. I would assume that rub elbows, with those folks up there, the Kathy Hogels and all of those. They're the ones that's going to get the bread. But it's good to see you, Dawn. Thank you for pulling up, man. Y'all make sure y'all go check out Red Dawn Daily, man. She is doing outstanding work over there. Outstanding work over there. But y'all got to see this, man. Y'all got to see it for yourself. Give me a second. Let me pull it up.
That are walking out of this courthouse, taken away from their families. They don't have the attention. They don't have the lawyers. And that's why the state of New York is providing $50 million to cover legal services for people who are finding themselves in this situation. That are walking out of this courthouse, taken away from their families. They don't have the attention. They don't have the lawyers. And that's why the state of New York is providing $50 million to cover legal services for people who are finding themselves in this situation.
$50 million for legal service. Let me pull her off the screen. $50 million for legal services for illegal immigrants. So basically, this is a scheme to launder money to the lawyers up there. Y'all know that's what this is about for real. Y'all know this is what this is about for real. So hey, I don't want to go down this whole, long diatribe, about the super chats and things of that nature. But it's definitely going to be needed today because I think the stream, there's no money to be made. This thing is going to be demonetized today. But it's all good because we hit. Tracy DeCamber with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Here in California, they pay for legal services for illegal immigrants. Love your show. Yeah. And you wonder why out there in California, they're in the type of deficit that they're in. Think about that, man. You're paying for legal services for people that shouldn't be here when your state is billions upon billions of dollars in debt right now. We talked about this yesterday, right? California itself, I think they have like $100 billion deficit. LA County has a deficit, you know, in the tens of billions of dollars right now. These daggone liberal politicians are something else, man. These liberal politicians are something else. Shout out to Freedmen's Network. What's up with you, brother? Appreciate you pulling up, and shout out, appreciate you supporting the channel this morning as well. He says we have to stop celebrating Juneteenth because living in the past make people perpetual victims. Black people should only celebrate Christmas, July 4th, and be good and safe Negroes and stay in our place. Honestly, I don't know if we should celebrate Christmas in that manner. I think you should celebrate Christmas in the manner of hanging out with family, you know, being with folks. I don't have a problem with that. And I don't necessarily have a problem with you celebrating Juneteenth if that's your thing. I said that earlier. If you grew up celebrating Juneteenth, or if you found out about a new holiday and you decided, hey, I want to incorporate that into my family's life, God bless you, man. Do you? Do you? I'm just talking about me as a person that grew up in the South, in the Southeast. We didn't grow up celebrating Juneteenth, and I didn't find out about it until I was in my mid-20s. Didn't grow up, and I don't know too many people that's going to celebrate it right now. Now, yeah, there are people capitalizing off of it, not to go off on this tangent, you know, leave it to Aaron and kind of throw me off my show. But there are people that are going to capitalize off of it, right? They're going to create these festivals and all this other kind of stuff, which is cash grab. And hey, God bless them as well. Opportunity to make some money. I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking Juneteenth. When I found out about it, I was like, huh, interesting. And once I found out what it was about, I was like, huh, interesting. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool regional holiday. I don't see anything. I didn't see anything wrong with it then. Don't see anything wrong with it now. And for those that don't want to celebrate it, but if you get the day off, enjoy the day off. Do you? But the last time I checked, when it comes to July 4th, this is our nation. This is the only nation that we have, and we should celebrate the independence of this nation, especially when people like Crispus Attucks put their lives on the line for said nation. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hustling backwards, man. Stop it. Stop it. Seriously, stop it. When you got people like Crispus Attucks, the first person to die in the Revolutionary War, a black man, this is our nation just as much as it is anybody else's. And when it comes to July 4th, we should definitely celebrate July 4th. Stop it, bro. Seriously. Now, if you choose not to celebrate July 4th, that's your business too. God bless you. Your business too. Makes me know, never mind. But let's get back to New York City and let's get back to Kathy Hochul. Imagine this $50 million. Imagine this $50 million. Imagine if that was put towards making the subway safer for New Yorkers. Let's break it down real quick, because it's not just about one attack. It's about a pattern. A pattern of crime, mismanagement, and misplaced priorities that's turning the Big Apple into a danger zone. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I have zero interest in going back to New York City. Zero interest. The last time I went up there was a few years back, man. The things that I saw, and I used to love going to New York City. Being down here in Baltimore, they got a lot of shuttle buses that you can jump on, that you can get up there. Very, very affordable. A lot of times, man, I used to go up for the day. Go up on a Saturday morning, hang out all day, catch the last bus coming back, and you could do it for about $26. We'll give the company, I don't even know if they're still in existence anymore, but there was a time back in the day. There was this company, they had a bus company called Bolt Bus, and there's a few others out there. But Bolt used to have $1 fares up. If you paid for a round trip, you'd get $1 up, and then it might cost you, with tax, it'd be $26. You know what I'm saying? To get up there and get back. So, hey, don't have anything to do on a Saturday. Hey, I'm gonna go to New York, because there's always something to do up there. Let's just keep it a buck. And I used to go up there, catch the first bus out from here, ride up there. It's only a 3.5 hour drive or so, depending on how the traffic is, and hang out all day long. Have a great time up there. And then jump on the last bus back, because, you know, at that time, I ain't really had no money like that. But I wanted to do things. I wanted to have fun. And so I couldn't afford to stay up there overnight, because hotels, y'all know how expensive hotels can be, you know, in New York, especially in the city. extremely expensive. So I couldn't afford to get no hotel. So I just catch the last bus back at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and come back. You know what I'm saying? I think it'd be like the 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning bus, because that would be the bus going back. That would have been the bus that when they got there, that I would be getting on to come back, or not to come back, but to go up to New York City. But the last time I went up there, man, the things that I witnessed on the city subway, the things that I witnessed in Times Square, we stayed in Brooklyn when we went up there, and Brooklyn was nice. It was nice. But the things that I witnessed on the subway, man, and my wife, she was up there with me, and she flat out told me, she was like, you can come back up here, but I'm never coming back up here. I mean, we witnessed some pretty wicked things on the daggone train. Seriously. We witnessed some serious things on the train. Seriously. New York City subway system, I mean, once a symbol of vibrancy, is now a hotbed of violence. Hotbed. Felony assaults are up 13% from last year. And that's just the tip of the iceberg right there. I mean, y'all seen the opening video. You know, we've seen shootings, we've seen stabbings, we've seen a person get caught on fire. A person set on fire up there. I mean, there's been all types of random attacks. There's been people SA'd. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. But it just makes you wonder, you know, if it's even, you know, safe to even step foot, you know, on the train at this point. And this isn't just a perception, it's a reality. This isn't just a perception, it's the reality, bro. Seriously. It was my own reality. I got a chance to witness some real crazy things on that train up there. Seriously. New York Police Department's data shows that there has been a 44% increase in violent felonies in April alone compared to last year. And that's not just the subways. The entire city is feeling it. Car thefts are skyrocketing. Over 10,000 reported in the first 4 months of this year. That's more than double what it was in 2019. And let's not forget the retail theft rings that are emptying stores faster than you can say shoplifting. While all this is going on, you got Governor Hochul out there spending $50 million on legal services for illegals, which is insane to me, because when your own citizens are getting stabbed on the subway, when your streets are unsafe and your businesses are closing because of crime, maybe, just maybe, you would think that, hey, I should probably prioritize my constituents. That $50 million, man, it could have funded a lot of things, maybe additional cops, more mental health advocates. Lord knows mental health advocates for intervention is needed up there. It's needed up there. Big time. Big time. We can't expect the police to do their job and also be mental health professionals and experts. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they could have hired some mental health advocates for intervention, or just better security measures in general. But instead, it's going to lawyers for people who, let's just keep it a buck, shouldn't even be here in the first place. And it's not just Hochul. It's not just her. The city's been pouring billions into migrant services while crime surges. And can we keep it real for a second? New York City is facing a self-inflicted economic crisis right now. Since 2020, over 300 major businesses have fled or downsized. We're talking names like Goldman Sachs, JetBlue, and Elliott Management. That right there triggered an estimated 200,000 job losses when you factor in both direct and indirect and the ripple effects behind it. And the tax hit is staggering. The tax hit, they've lost $5 billion a year dating back to that time frame, dating back to 2020 in revenue, lost revenue, $5 billion. So if you think about this, let's just add that up. We're talking $20 billion in lost tax revenue because the businesses are leaving and people are having to leave as well. And the reason they're leaving is, you know, sky high taxes. Y'all know they tax folks up there out the daggone wazoo. Out of control crime, red tape strangling growth, you know, and even worse, 1 in 3 small businesses has closed permanently since 2020. And we know that small business has been the backbone of the nation. Small business has been the backbone of the nation. It's that in itself, when you think about 1 in 3 small businesses, it's the backbone. And the reality of it is a lot of, you know, a lot of black folks, a lot of your Latinas up there or Hispanics up there. These are more times than not the type of businesses that they have. You know what I'm saying? More times than not, it's going to be a smaller business. Office buildings remain half empty. New York City's recovering is lagging behind cities like Miami, Nashville, and Austin. And we got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about it. I appreciate you, Aaron, you know, sarcasm, you know, for the, I don't even really know what that means, but I know it's you know, that's a hater comment right there. You know what I'm saying? That's a hater comment. But I do appreciate you dropping the bread. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Shout out to Matt Green with the $10 super chat. Says, good morning, Wise. Can I have a follow? Can I get a follow positive message for the people feeling negative? Goodness. Give us something inspirational, bro. Greatly appreciate your channel. Okay, I got you. Well, we did something yesterday. We had a inspirational story that we talked about yesterday, but I definitely want to incorporate. I want to incorporate a little more of some positivity into the show for sure. We got to talk about some of the good things that are happening in the country. I do agree with you there, bro. So I'll work on that. Today, we're already set today, but I'll definitely work on that for the future to make sure when we're preparing for the show, I'll definitely make sure of that. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, brother. But let's talk about the mayoral race right now. We got to talk about that because that situation up there is something else. Because ultimately, it's where the rubber meets the road, right? You know, Eric Adams, the current mayor, is running as an independent after a term marred by scandals and a failure to get a handle on the crime. His approval ratings, they're in the toilet, no different than majority of your Democrats out there across the country. You know, the approval ratings are low, which honestly, that's most, what do you call it? Most of your Democrats right now, you know, polling ratings, approval ratings in the daggone toilet. The city right now, it's a complete mess. And yeah, Mayor Adams, he's a part of the problem. But the Democrat Party, I mean, it's a complete circus right now. You got this candidate, Zoran Mamdani, a Democratic socialist, going up against Andrew Cuomo in the Democrat primary up there, which you guys know who Andrew Cuomo is. He's the former governor, you know, with his own baggage. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. He got his own baggage. But Mamdani's, he's out there promising to defund the police. He's out there, you know, with a focus on social justice. Crime is crazy as heck right now in New York City. And you got a candidate who basically, they say in the polls, you know, it's a 50-50 thing between him and Cuomo right now. And this fool is up there talking about defunding the police and trying to put a focus on social justice while Cuomo's trying to pivot back to the center. You got a guy running for office and people seem to be rocking with him, you know, on the Democrat side of things with a 50%, you know, with a 50% approval rating right now, talking about defunding the police when crime is skyrocketing through the roof right now. And then you got this Brad Landers character, Brad Landers, Adrian Adams, and a bunch of others who are, you know, they're all vying for the same vote as well. I mean, it is a complete mess. It's a mess up there, man. It is. And that's going to determine the future. That's going to determine the future of New York. But before we get into all of that, you know, I want to zero in on Mamdani. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the state, you know, of the race at this point. The latest mayor's poll shows that the Democratic primary, it is tightening up. Former Governor Andrew Cuomo still in the lead, but his edge is narrowing. It's narrowing at this point. And in the ranked choice voting system, after the 7th round, Cuomo edges out Zohran Mamdani 55 to 45%, which is a drop from 60 to 40%. So this dude is creeping into 50-50 territory right now. In the first round, Cuomo's got 43%, with Mamdani a close behind, at 31%. City Comptroller Brad Lander sits at 8%. New York City City Council Speaker Adrienne Adams, she's currently at 7% right now. And the former comptroller, Scott Stringer, is at 4%, with the rest trailing below 2%. The race, it's fluid, with 11% of voters still undecided in the first round, and another 11% don't pick Cuomo or Mamdani at all, leaving plenty of room for shifts. Cuomo's strongest in the Bronx with 49%, and he's gaining ground in Manhattan, jumping from 32 to 41%. Mamdani's dominating Brooklyn with 36%, up 11 points, and he's surging among Latinos, doubling his support to 41%, and even leading Cuomo there. Key endorsements are boosting Mamdani because he got an endorsement from none other than AOC. He got Bernie Sanders. He's got 2021 candidate Maya Wiley. They're all endorsing this guy. So we need to, let's get an idea of who this Mamdani guy is. Let's get an idea of who this Mamdani guy is. Oh, and Spaces, I saw that. So, and before we show Mamdani, come on, man. So we got to be, because we actually care, about this country. We got to be, bootlickers and things of that nature, Aaron. Really? Really? Because we actually care. It's your business to do whatever it is that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You can support what you want to support. But that is a lot of the problem. That is a lot of the problem. That could be something that's discussed on another day, on another show. But I'm not gonna give that a whole heck of a lot of energy. But I appreciate you acknowledging that for me, Spaces. I do appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it ain't helping. That kind of rhetoric, it doesn't help anything. But God bless you, brother, man. I still got love for you.
I get messages that say the only good Muslim is a dead Muslim. I get threats on my life. On the people that I love. And I try not to talk about it. Because the function of racism, as Toni Morrison said, is distraction. My focus has always been on making this a city that's affordable, on making this a city that every New Yorker sees themselves in. And it takes a toll, because this is a city that every single person deserves to be in. It's a city that we all belong to. And the thing that's made me proudest in this campaign is that the strength of our movement is built on our ability to have built something across Jewish and Muslim New Yorkers, across New Yorkers of all faiths and all backgrounds and all boroughs. And anti-Semitism is such a real issue in the city. And it has been hard to see it weaponized by candidates who do not seem to have any sincere interest in tackling it, but rather in using it as a pretext to make political points. And that's what I've tried to share.
Thank you so much.
How many more New Yorkers want charged? Do you believe in the First Amendment? Do you believe in the First Amendment, Tom Homan? How many more New Yorkers want to charge that target?
All right, so let's talk about who this particular character is. Let's talk about him for a second. Give me a second. So who is this Mamdani character? He's a radical DSA endorsed far left ideologue who's bringing London-style disaster politics right to our backyard. And one of, dare I say, the country's, once upon a time was the country's greatest city, right? Y'all would agree with me, right? Y'all would agree. Would you guys agree that New York City would be considered, at least at once upon a time, I don't know if we can say that today, but the country's greatest city? I'm not exaggerating either. I'm not exaggerating at all. I mean, this dude is trying to bring London-style disaster politics to New York. I'm not exaggerating. But if you think I am, just wait. Just wait until you hear what he's pushing. So let's start with the basics. Mamdani isn't just a progressive. He's a card-carrying socialist who's cozied up to some of the same crowd that brought you disastrous policies in San Francisco and Chicago. And his big pitch, free everything. Free everything. That's his pitch. Free everything. So it makes sense why his numbers are increasing, because you got a lot of people that like free stuff. We're talking free groceries, free buses, rent freezes, government-run housing built on your dime. We know how that worked out, right? How do you think government-run housing is going to work? More of it. Built on taxpayer dollars. What does that sound like to you? We've seen this movie before, and it ends with sky-high taxes, small businesses crushed, and streets filled with people who can't afford to live in a city that they once called home. Now let's break this down for a second. Mamdani has proposed creating a chain of city-owned grocery stores. City-owned grocery stores. Do we really want the government involved in owning stores? Do we really want that? Do y'all understand how crazy that would be for the people? City-owned grocery stores, government-owned grocery stores. Y'all interested in that? If I got any New Yorkers in here, I'm not really sure if I do today, but are y'all interested in state-funded grocery stores? Really? Come on, man. Y'all got to see this for yourself.
Are out of control. The cost of eggs and milk has skyrocketed. Some stores are even using dynamic pricing, jacking up the cost over the course of a day depending on what they can get away with. It doesn't need to be this way. I'm Zahran Mamdani, and as mayor, I will create a network of city-owned grocery stores. It's like a public option for produce. We will redirect city funds from corporate supermarkets to city-owned grocery stores, whose mission is lower prices, not price gouging. These stores will operate without a profit motive or having to pay property taxes or rent, and will pass on those savings to you.
Yeah, he's going to pass that tax bill on to you as well. Teresa Ellington, this dude's extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. So this guy is basically proposing that the government, which can't even fix potholes on your daggone block right now, but you're expecting these people to come in and manage produce aisles and freezer sections? Come on, man, stop it. Stop it. These public option stores would supposedly drive down prices by not having to pay taxes or rent, undercutting private markets. But here's the problem. This idea would crush mom and pop bodegas and ethnic markets that already serve low-income communities. It would crush them. This isn't what you call innovation. It's economic arson dressed up as equity. And don't get me started on the rent freeze proposal. Don't get me started on that. Oh my goodness, man. Who's supporting this? Seriously, who is supporting this guy? Seriously. Give me a second. I need to see something real quick. 1 second. One second, I'm sorry. All right.
I'm Assemblyman Zahran Mamdani, and I'm running for mayor to freeze the rent for every rent-stabilized tenant.
Wait, you're gonna freeze my rent?
Yes.
Did I hear rent freeze?
Yes! This guy's gonna freeze the rent.
No hike?
None.
This guy's gonna freeze the rent.
It's true. As your next mayor, I will freeze your rent.
Paid for by Zoran for NYC.
Okay, I wanted you guys to see that. He's going to freeze the rent now, right? So now he's going to stop people who want to create wealth. He's going to stop you from making money in New York City, right? He's going to stop you from making money, because what we do know is that the cost to maintain a place is going to go up. It's going to go up. But he's going to freeze the rent. He's going to keep you from being able to really make any bread. You know, so all the people that's talking about they want to get into real estate and all this other kind of stuff, you're not going to be able to do it in New York. Not in New York City. Oh, you want to Airbnb? You want to you want to buy a rental property in New York City? Really? Not there. Not if this guy gets in. I mean, come on, man. So, I mean, it sounds good until you realize it only applies to rent stabilized and rent controlled units, which is at this point right now, it's less than half of New York's rental stock. But again, he's piquing the interest of people because there's a lot of people out there looking for something free. They're looking for the handout. They don't understand what they're going to give away by it, by putting a guy like this in office. But they're like, oh man, free stuff. Oh man, I'll take free. I love free. But Mamdani's campaign has been out there. I mean, it's been fear mongering, implying that if Cuomo wins, your rent's going to go up. And if Mamdani wins, your rent magically stays the same. I mean, it's dishonest, man. It's dishonest. And worse, you know, it warps the real estate market. It warps the real estate market. These freezes, they distort supply and demand, discourage new construction, and ultimately drives everyone rents higher. Ultimately, especially for working class people trying to get a leg up. But it doesn't stop there. Mamdani wants to fast track 100% government funding housing projects, tripling the current pace. In theory, this sounds compassionate, but in practice, it's a complete fiscal nightmare. Just look at Chicago right now, where Mayor Brandon Johnson promised to build 10,000 affordable units using $11 billion in taxpayer funds. That's $1.1 million per unit, triple the cost of a single family home in the city, triple the cost of a single family home in the city. It's a recipe for waste. It's a recipe for waste, grift, and failure. And Mamdani wants to do the same thing right there in daggone New York City. There is no way. You couldn't pay me to move up there. You couldn't pay me to move up there. You could not pay me to move up there. There's also a free bus plan. Free bus plan. Mamdani wants to make buses free while keeping subways paid, which would actually pull paying riders off the subway and put more pressure on the already struggling MTA. This isn't smart transit policy. It's a blueprint for collapse. It's a blueprint for failure. And as always, the proposed funding source is the tax the millionaires, tax the billionaires, which sounds nice until those millionaires move to Florida, Georgia, Texas, South Carolina, North Carolina, and then the middle class gets stuck with the bill. But the cherry on the sundae is this. What makes me think that this guy would be a complete disaster for New York City, heck, these kind of policies are complete disasters for any city in this country, is the fact that no one's really sure where his allegiance lies. What am I talking about here? Let's take a look at this.
के मेयर के इलेक्शन के लिए पहले मुस्लिम अमेरिकन उम्मीदवार जोहरान ममदानी
We have 8.5 million people. And हम सब जानते हैं कि of that 8.5 million, तकरीबन 1 million are Muslim. और उस million में 2 लाख are registered Democrats. पर पिछली elections में only 7% of Muslim Democrats have voted. And I do not blame our community because much of the time there is not much to vote for. But what we are showing in this election is an opportunity to show that Muslims don't just belong in New York City, we also belong in City Hall.
न्यूयॉर्क स्टेट के असेंबली मेंबर मुंतखब हुए।
मेरा नाम जोहरान ममदानी है। मैं न्यूयॉर्क स्टेट असेंबली मेंबर हूँ अस्टोरिया और लॉन्ग आइलैंड सिटी का और 7 महीने पहले I began my campaign to be the next mayor of this city. I'm speaking to you today as a candidate firmly in second place with 32 days until the election. The first Muslim elected official to ever run for mayor is Sheher mein. And this is a campaign that is about making this city more affordable. Jidhar bhi aap ho in New York City, you know that this is the most expensive city in the United States. 1 in 4 New Yorkers are living in poverty. Or agar aap Pakistani ho, then the rate of poverty is even higher, close to 30%. This is a city that deserves a local government that finally takes that crisis seriously. And we will do that by not only making it cheaper to live here, to raise a family here, but also to start a business here. And I'm excited to share this campaign, this message, this vision with each and every New Yorker across the 5 boroughs and to win this race on June 24th.
न्यूयॉर्क के इलाके
All right, before I keep going, I want to make sure I show some love to my guy Hunter with the super chat. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find him. Goodness. All right, there we go. Shout out to my guy Hunter with the $20 super chat. Says, great news for the morning. Supreme Court ruled that Tennessee Senate Bill 1 that prohibits minors receiving puberty blockers and gender affirming care will remain because it does not violate the 14th Amendment. That's a huge W. Absolutely. Thank God for that. That was huge. That was a huge win. That was a huge win. Shout out to Aaron with the $2 super chat. It says, I'm a MTA bus driver. No one pays anyway. What do you mean by that? Is it already free? Is it already free, or are you just saying that people just get on and they don't pay? Which one is it? I need you to clarify that for me. But do appreciate the super chat. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys this particular video, and I wanted to show you this because this is where it gets dicey. Mamdani's not just pushing far left economics. His campaign raises serious questions about his priorities and loyalties. At a Brooklyn press conference, he didn't just pitch policies. He issued a call to his ummah, a term for the global Islamic community, declaring that Muslims belong in City Hall. This is something that is going on in England right now. I don't know how much you guys know. Y'all may not follow anything that's going on over in Europe. But if you go and look at who's in charge in England, if I'm not mistaken, I believe a Muslim is in charge of, I think, 12 or 13 cities, to include London, in England right now. Right now. Mamdani's ties to Students for Justice in Palestine, which he co-founded, and his vocal support for BDS and pro-Hamas rallies have critics calling him out for, anti-Israel rhetoric that veers into anti-Semitism. These are some of the things that are going on. This is him. This is who he is. But I want you guys to see this right here, man. Let's keep going.
I am someone who I would say am less comfortable with the idea of banning the use of certain words, and that I think it is more evocative of a Trump-style approach to how to lead a country. And I think especially when we've seen...
Sure, but does that just make you uncomfortable? Like the phrase globalized intifada, from the river to the sea, does that make you uncomfortable? Or do you think...
Okay, those are different. Those are super different.
They're not
those are
really.
Like different genres.
I'm sorry, I'm asking Zoran. Then they're not really different to me. And to some people, they're not different.
I know people for whom those things mean very different things. And to me, ultimately, what I hear in so many is a desperate desire for equality and equal rights in standing up for Palestinian human rights. And I think what's difficult also is that the very word has been used by the Holocaust Museum when translating the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising into Arabic, because it's a word that means struggle.
Sure.
And as a Muslim man who grew up post 9/11, I'm all too familiar in the way in which Arabic words can be twisted, can be distorted, can be used to justify any kind of meaning.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it leaves me with a sense that what we need to do is focus on keeping Jewish New Yorkers safe, and the question of the permissibility of language is something that I haven't.
Okay. So before I keep going, shout out to my guy Hunter I'm a Hunter with the $5 super chat. He says, if he wins, he is going to turn New York into Vermont or worse. Thank you for the $5 super chat. And I'm not real familiar with okay, so I'm not real familiar with Vermont. I know Bernie Sanders and I know he's up there, but I'm not real familiar with their politics and how things are, in Vermont. To be honest with you, I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's one of the Northeast in general, I have zero interest, in stepping foot in or really being, living up there. But Vermont, for sure, I have zero interest in Vermont. All right, so Aaron says they get on and don't pay or dip their Metro card. Okay, all right. I'm not sure what dip the Metro card means, but okay, got you. All right, so in reference to Mamdani, what's interesting is how he conveniently leaves out what from the river to the sea actually means for the people who don't fall into this means, equality camp. And don't think that's not on purpose. Y'all know, he's playing the word game right now. He's publicly flirted with the idea of arresting Israeli leaders under ICC warrants if they set foot in New York. He also wants us to believe that, he just believes the phrase is just being twisted. And he wants us to also believe that, he has a focus on keeping Jewish New Yorkers safe. Okay. They can't even they're not even trying to keep, the Jewish students safe on the college campuses up there and other college campuses around the world, or I'm sorry, around the country. But okay. And not only that, I don't know, man. I think he's probably an unserious or probably very unserious and unserious foreign policy for mayor. Honestly, that's probably what it is. And it's deeply inflammatory, in a city with the largest Jewish population outside of Israel. But this guy says that he wants to unite New Yorkers. I don't know if that's the way you go about it. And then you add in his outright rejection of borders, and ICE, and you've got a candidate who seems more loyal to the globalist vision, the globalist agenda, than to American sovereignty or the safety of New Yorkers. Honestly, somebody up there probably need to do a little bit of research as to where he's getting his money from. Who's funding that campaign up there? Get an idea of that. Who's funding the campaign? And before anyone accuses me, of ignoring the rest of the field, trust me, I see the dumpster fire that Andrew Cuomo is. I'm not advocating for any of these people. I just wanted to discuss this particular individual because, it's just wild, some of the things that he would like to implement. This is the man who enacted disastrous bail reform, raised the age of criminal responsibility, and presided over soaring crime rates. This is Cuomo that we're talking about. So, on the blue side of things, come on, man. It's really a pick your poison. And that includes the current mayor right now, who is now running as an independent. But Cuomo, he's a political chameleon who adopts to, whatever policies poll well. Y'all know it. But Mamdani, this dude's not pretending. He believes in the stuff that he's saying. He wants more crime. Remember, he wants to defund the police. He wants more welfare dependency. How is that going to help the citizens up there in New York? And he wants more government control. We know how that works when the government seizes and gets more control. It's not a good thing. And this isn't by accident. This is by design. We are now in a situation where I live in New York, because I don't, and I would never live up there. But they're in a situation right now where your best option might be the guy who once tried to cover up thousands of C-19 deaths in nursing homes. That's how bad it's gotten. You got a full-fledged socialist who I would assume if he was to win would magically be start to talk about Sharia law up there in New York. Y'all know what time it is with them. Y'all know what time it is. And then you got this Cuomo character. And everybody else under him, y'all know what time it is with them. All the people that aren't polling well right now. Y'all know what time it is with them as well, especially if you live up there. The bottom line is this, man. Mamdani is not just another bad choice. I mean, he's a radical ideologue who would do to New York what Sadiq Khan has done to London. And if you're not familiar with Sadiq Khan, and if you're not familiar with what has happened in London, go look it up. Go look it up for yourself. We're talking a super woke, dysfunctional, overtaxed mess of a city. Go look it up for yourself. Absolutely. Go take some time and go look this up. And if voters don't wake up soon, that's exactly what they're going to get in New York City. And it's going, you think it's a mess right now? You think it's a mess right now? For those that live up there, boy, if that dude get in there, man, whoo, y'all in trouble. It might be time to pack it up and dip. It might be time. If you live up there and this dude gets in office, it might be time to leave. Seriously. It might be time to leave. Most people don't own a whole lot, homes-wise up in New York. Most folks are renting up there. A good amount of them are renting, in New York City. There are a few people, there are some people that do own apartments and things of that nature up there. And I guess if you live out in Queens, there's some single families. And if you live out in Long Island, I believe there's some, there's single families out there as well. But there's a lot of folks that are, living in apartment complexes and renting up there. And if you're renting, that makes it easy for you to just say, you know what, nope, I'm not staying here. I'm not staying here. I'm not staying here. Hey, Quincy, it's a mess out in London. It is a mess out in London right now. Kiwan Lynette, you're absolutely right. That is their goal. That is their goal. You're seeing it play out all throughout England. You see it playing, actually, I can't even just say England. This is playing out all throughout Europe. They're essentially moved in and then they're taking over. Yeah, it's a mess, man. It is a mess up there. But let's pivot to another story. We're done with New York for today. We're going to go down to Florida. Let's pivot to another story. We got to pivot to another story that's shaking things up across the country. Multiple Florida DMV employees have been arrested for selling thousands, y'all heard me, thousands of CDLs to illegal aliens. Come on, man. Hey, it's one thing to get a cheap and easy license to drive a car, but to drive a big rig, y'all just giving any old body a CDL? Oh man, bruh, what are we doing? What are we doing? Y'all gonna let people that don't know what they're doing, get on the road in a big rig, big 18-wheeler? Ooh. Hey, Kiwan, I don't have any interest in visiting London. It's dangerous out there, man. I don't have any interest. I used to want to go out there for a football match. I used to want to go out there just to, kind of experience the football match. I have zero interest. I have zero interest. But this situation right here, man, do y'all understand how dangerous it is to have people on the road that don't know what they're doing, driving 18-wheelers? My pop's owned a trucking company for some years. Drove trucks. He's drove trucks. That's the only job that I know that since I've been alive. That's the only one that I've known of him to have is a truck driver. And, eventually worked his way, owned his own trucking company. Parents did very well for themselves. It's a tough gig. I respect the heck out of the truck drivers, the trucking industry. Again, my favorite cousin that lives down in San Antonio, he's a truck driver. I respect the heck out of a truck driver, man. Seriously. I respect the heck out of those people. It's an honorable job. It's a good job. It can be a good business. And to allow people, and a lot of they gave them to were these CDL, they were giving them to, illegal immigrants. A CDL, but you don't know how to drive an actual 18-wheeler? Oh, Man, dangerous. But let's check this out.
Will led us to arrest 5 additional individuals who are acting as brokers running local businesses that claim to assist with immigration paperwork, but instead arranged illegal transactions and funneled aliens from as far away as Miami to obtain licenses fraudulently. Let me be clear that putting untested, unqualified drivers, especially those with commercial licenses, on our roads is an unacceptable risk to every family in this state. These licenses were essentially sold, not earned. That means we have individuals on the road, possibly operating tractor trailers, who never demonstrated the basic skills to do so safely. It's not a paperwork issue. It's a direct threat to highway safety and a betrayal of the public trust. The scope of this investigation: yesterday we seized over $120,000 in illicit proceeds tied to this operation. Evidence suggests that hundreds, if not more than 1,000 fraudulent driver's licenses were issued as part of this scheme. It's been ongoing for over 2 years, and this investigation is continuing to be ongoing and will expand statewide as we work to identify those who receive licenses illegally and hold all parties accountable. Each license issued could result in felony criminal charges for the license holder, and our investigation will be expanded by our state partners to hold these individuals accountable. A search warrant was executed yesterday at a business in Callaway called Cuba Max, which is involved in processing immigration documents. Again, I want to commend the outstanding teamwork and partnership of our investigators. It's a multi-agency effort with close coordination between law enforcement, the tax collector's office, and other state and local partners. This is the kind of teamwork it takes to root out corruption and protect our citizens. I'd also like to commend our tax collector, Chuck Perdue. As soon as he was made aware of this investigation, he became an investigator himself. He worked with us closely to make sure that these individuals were held accountable. Certainly a difficult situation when individuals in your office choose to do the wrong thing, but the important part is that we hold them accountable when we do that. So, Chuck, thank you for your efforts. So I want to talk about the individuals that...
All right, give me a second here. Wow. Let me pull myself back up here. Yeah, that's a lot, man. Okay, so let's talk about it. Investigators busted a ring in Bay County, Florida, where DMV workers and local brokers were peddling hundreds, if not thousands, of driver's license, including commercial driver's license, or what people call CDLs, commercial driver's license. For those of you guys that didn't know what the CDL stood for, it's commercial driver license, to unqualified illegal immigrants for cash. At least 8 arrests, $120,000 seized, and potentially thousands of fraudulent licenses issued. And that's just one office. Imagine how widespread this could be. Imagine how widespread this could be. Seriously. Do you understand the type of damage that could be done with unskilled, unqualified people driving 18-wheelers? Do you know what type of accidents and what type of tragedies could happen? Thankfully, we hadn't heard of anything tragic yet. And hopefully they got a list of all the people that have been giving these licenses so they can revoke them immediately. I hope there's a list. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, all the people that paid this money, they need to go to jail as well. Not just the people involved. Not just the people that worked at, the brokerages or the at the DMV. Not just them. Even the people, everybody that paid for, basically, I guess it's not fake, but paid for an illegal CDL. Everybody that paid for it in that manner, they should be arrested. And if they're illegal, throw their behinds up out the country as well. The scheme involved employees bypassing required tests with 2 key players. You have this one individual, Valesco, and another one, Demetrius Smith II, facing multiple charges. Local businesses like Cuba Max franchise acted as middleman, funneling people from as far as Miami to get these fake credentials. Florida Attorney General James Uthmeyer, I could be pronouncing that improperly, called it a widespread and advanced operation, sparking a statewide hunt for more bad actors. Bay County Sheriff Tommy Ford warned that untested drivers, some operating tractor trailers, pose a direct threat to highway safety, with over 5,000 non-citizen CDLs issued in 2024. Let that sink in for a second, people. 5,000 non-citizens received CDLs in 2024. I mean, the scale of this situation could be massive. The scale of this situation could be massive. Oh my goodness. Hold up, we got a super chat from Kiwan Lynette. Shout out to Kiwan Lynette with the $2 super chat. Says the terror plot, in my opinion, mass vehicular. Oh man, hey. At this point, man, I wouldn't put it past any of these people. Seriously, I wouldn't put anything past any of these folks. Seriously, not a thing. But let's keep going.
Charges. The intermediaries that we arrested, who were the individuals that the aliens would contact, and they would be referred to our two tax collector employees, were a Nirbus Rosales, age 37. She was arrested on 24 counts of principal to DMV fraud and 24 counts as a principal to official misconduct. Leonardo Gutierrez, age 32, of Panama City, 7 counts of principal to DL fraud and 7 counts of official misconduct. Hung Du, age 58, of Panama City, on 36 counts of principal to fraud and 36 counts of official misconduct. Esbredia Para, age 44, Panama City, 7 counts of principal to DL fraud and 7 counts of principal to official misconduct. Zola Gonzalez Pena, age 38, 12 counts. Also arrested but not identified as operating as an intermediary was Myrna Fernandez of Panama City on a charge of unlawful possession of a driver's license. It's believed that Fernandez obtained her driver's license fraudulently yesterday, paying to receive a passing grade on her exam in the skills exam. But to those who think that they can compromise.
So it's not just CDLs, it's driver license as well. So you got people on the road down in Florida that hadn't had to pass the driving exam on the roads.
Public safety for profit. Know this, we will find you.
DeAndre said, Ice Road Truckers, illegal edition. Oh, no. We don't want that. We don't want to see that at all. Oh, my goodness.
We will bring you to justice. And to the people of Bay County, I want you to know we are committed to preserving the integrity of our institutions and the safety of our roads. Thank you, and I'd now like to turn it over to our Attorney General.
Goodness gracious. So, yes, this is happening in our states. Illegal immigrants are receiving commercial driver's license and actual driver's license in the United States. Oh my goodness, man. Imagine how many states have been flooding the trucking industry with illegal foreign labor. This is insane, man. But let's talk about the public safety aspects of this entire situation here. CDL holders operate massive vehicles. These things are huge, man. Again, like I said, my pop's owned a trucking company, was a truck driver for years, owned a trucking company for probably 20 years. And I mean, these rigs, they're huge, man. I mean, think about, this is 80,000 pounds. 80,000 pounds. Do y'all understand what type of catastrophic crashes could happen if mishandled? 80,000 pounds. I mean, in some cases, that's 10 times heavier than, your average SUV out there. 10 times heavier than one of your big trucks out there. Navigator, one of those big ones. 80,000 pounds. Do y'all really understand how catastrophic these crashes could be if mishandled? An untrained driver behind, one of these, they are essentially a ticking time bomb, essentially. Because it's not a situation of if, it's really when. Oh man, and Hunter, and let's not start talking about the people driving that are driving hazardous material, such as fuel and other biohazardous material. Let's not even talk about them. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. In 2023, Florida reported 405,000 crashes. Do y'all need me to repeat that for y'all? In Florida, in 2023, they reported 405,000 crashes, with commercial vehicles involved in thousands. Adding unqualified drivers to the mix just spikes the risk of fatalities, injuries, and property damage. Nationally, truck crashes, they've already killed over 5,000 people on an annual basis. And then there's the national security aspect of it. Unvetted drivers with CDLs could access sensitive infrastructure ports, warehouses, you name it. If someone's willing to break the law for a license, what else might they do with said license? Seriously. I mean, this scam, it also screws over American truckers who are losing jobs to illegal labor flooding the industry in Florida and in 9 other states right now. I mean, this is what you call economic sabotage. This is what you call economic sabotage. Driving down wages and sidelining qualified workers. And here's the kicker, man. Florida's a red state with strict enforcement and a governor who's tough on immigration. If this is happening there, imagine what's going on in New York, California, Oregon, Washington, Illinois. Imagine what's happening there, where policies are so much looser and oversights basically probably non-existent at this point in some of these states. This right here is what happens when you get open border policies, plain and simple. And it affects everybody. It affects everybody. Yeah, you like those, you got all of your, bleeding heart liberals. They love a daggone illegal immigrant until they're driving a car and hit your car and they ain't got no license or insurance. That happened to my sister some years back. Got hit by an illegal immigrant who did not have a driver's license and who also had zero insurance. So you know what that does to your insurance. So she had to come up out of pocket with the deductible. And your insurance is going to go up because you're going to use your uninsured motors. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. So all the people out there hollering at their 4 open borders, think about it, man. And shout out to Kiwan Lynette with more language that's not YouTube friendly. Thank you very much for the $2 super chat. Yes, the trafficking, the drug trafficking, the human trafficking. Oh yeah. When you're giving people access to, tractor trailers and they can smuggle people on the back of it. I mean, this is crazy. Aaron said it's been happening in New York for a long time. I'm sure it has been. There's probably zero oversight up there. And if there is, it's very minimal. Very minimal. So all the people out there, all the bleeding liberals out there, they just got this sympathy. They got this empathy for these illegal immigrants out here. When you say that you're for open borders, man, think about that again, man. Think about that again. Because I'm telling you, when you get hit by one of these people, and I'm not, I hope that it never happens. But if you do, and they don't have a license, and they don't have insurance, I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. All of a sudden, you're paying a deductible out of your pocket. That could be $500, could be $1,000. Some of y'all are smart, might have that $250 deductible. Maybe. Most don't. Most people have a $500 to $1,000 deductible. So now you got to come up with a stack right off the rip. And on top of that, your insurance is about to go up in the next 6 months. You can count on it. And the reality of it is, if you live in an area where they have a high population of illegal immigrants known for driving and known for also not having insurance, your insurance is already through the roof right now. You know it. I know people up in New York City right now paying car notes for car insurance. It's crazy. Their monthly car insurance payment is a car note for some folks. It is insane. It is insane. One of my guys up there, man, that dude was driving like it was an older Honda Civic or something along those lines. You know, he was driving old dude. His insurance, his semi-annual, and then when you look at it, you combine it over the year. His insurance over the year was more than what his car was actually worth. He was pushing a bucket at the time. He's doing a whole heck of a lot better today. You know, thank the Lord. But man, the insurance up there is insane. And let's not talk about the parking. We go down the list, you know, of the craziness, you know, up there in New York. But it's insane. It's crazy. So all the people that are, you know, champion, y'all out here protesting and you know, you got folks up in New York that's okay with the $50 million, you know, for these illegal immigrants out here. Man, think again about that, man. It's costing you. It's costing you. No matter who you are. If you are an American, this situation, it is costing you directly. Either directly or indirectly. Yeah, where you live at, who is that? This individual right here. I don't even know how you pronounce that, but we'll just say Sapper LLX paying $2,500 a year for a 10-year-old truck. Where are you living at? Where are you at? That's a whole heck of a lot of money, man. That is a whole heck of a lot of money for a 10-year-old truck to be insured. And answer this question for me as well. Is it full coverage or do you just have liability? Please don't tell me you paying $2,500 a daggone year for liability coverage on a 10-year-old truck. Please don't tell me that. Please don't tell me that. Oh man, that's gonna hurt my heart right there. That's a whole heck of a lot of bread, bro. Oh, that's for full coverage. Okay, at least it's for full coverage. That's still a lot of money. Even for full coverage, that's still a lot of bread for full coverage, but at least it is full coverage. Goodness gracious. Wow. Oh, it's Sapper. Okay, appreciate that, brother. Oh, you're out in Vegas. Okay. Well, yeah, it's yeah. A lot of illegal immigrants out there in Nevada. Yeah. LJ Taylor. Yeah. Well, you know, insurance is going to be insurance depending on where you are in the country, right? So even USAA, which, you know, I'm a proud USAA member, have been for quite some time. And, you know, my insurance out here is fairly low. It's fairly affordable. You know what I'm saying? But, man. Yeah, it's a mess, man. It's a mess. It is a mess. Man. All the people that are still advocating, you know, for this illegal immigration mess, man. I mean, just think about it, man. Advocating for these open borders, man. Think about it, man. Seriously. It's costing you in a multitude of ways. You know, we're not just talking about compassion, you know, or opportunity. You're talking about just complete chaos. Chaos. You're saying you don't care about safety because that's basically what it is. When you advocate for these people to be over here illegally, you're advocating, you know, against safety. Unqualified drivers on the road, unqualified drivers driving 80,000 pounds worth of machinery. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Scary. Scary to even think about. We're talking about people potentially carrying, you know, dangerous goods, hazardous material, gasoline, or they'll have the ability to access critical infrastructure, all because someone looked the other way. You're saying that you don't care about America. You're saying you don't care about American workers who are losing their livelihoods to a system that's been rigged against them at this point. And you're saying that you don't care about the rule of law. Because these scams thrive in environments where enforcement is weak and accountability is a joke. There was a story, and we talked about this yesterday. I want to pull it up before we get into the final story, but I want to pull this up for you guys. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find it, because we talked about this yesterday. Oh, here we go. Excuse me. I ran across this story on X, but then I had to go and find the actual story on really? Okay, here we go. I want to share this with you guys. I want you guys to see this because we were talking about this yesterday. And as soon as I ran across it, I was like, oh yeah, I got to bring this up, man. I got to bring this up. We got to talk about it. Let me remove this and throw this up here. So yesterday we were talking about jobs, right? And we were talking about, the illegal immigrants needing to be here because, Americans won't do the jobs that they're willing to do, right? We talked about this yesterday. Do you guys recall? I know a lot happened in a day, in 24 hours, but we did talk about this yesterday. And everybody's out there saying, oh, the illegal immigrants, they gotta be over here. We need them here because they're willing to do jobs that Americans won't do. So I come across this article. It says, after ICE removes illegal workers, job applicants flood meat packing plants to replace them. So I want to read this article, and we're going to talk about this for a little bit. In Nebraska, several businesses say that their sales went down after dozens of illegal aliens were detained by ICE. There was a raid on a meat packing plant out there in Nebraska. It caused a surge in job applicants following the apprehension of 76 employees who were detained and removed from the premises by federal authorities. After just a few days, a dozen illegal workers had already been removed from the state or deported, while more than 60 were taken to the detention center. And this is a report as per NBC News. They reported on this initially. And what happened after the Immigration Customs Enforcement raid, obviously, there was a large amount of jobs that came available. There's a large amount of them that came available. And, it defied this particular immigration, enforcement raid, though it defied sentiment that has permeated across the country that no Americans want the jobs that illegal workers perform. That's the word on the street that you get from mainstream liberal media, right? Mainstream liberal media says that we're not interested in these jobs. Americans are not interested in these, manufacturing jobs, these meat packing jobs. We're not interested. Well, as Glen Valley Foods mourned the loss of what the company called family members, prospective employees banged on the doors looking to fill those roles that the company itself said were very hard to hire for. They got flooded with applications. Now, this is a quote from NBC. It says, it takes skilled people that take pride in what they do. That was the company president, Chad Hartman. That's what he said. Still, the company's entire waiting room, y'all heard this, the entire waiting room packed with people filling out applications just 2 days after the ICE raid. Dozens of possible new employees, many of them Spanish speaking, were coming in and out of the plant. And that's according to the report. And now you have a plethora of citizens out there in Nebraska that are dying for these jobs. Filled out. This is a brother right here. This is one of the brothers right here. This is one of the brothers right here in there filling an application out for an opportunity to go work in a meat plant that they said people like him don't want. People like him don't want. Hey, Dion, send me an email. I'll send you, actually, I got your email. I'll shoot this article over to you. Here it is. See, on the other day, the days start to run together. I think this was 2 days ago. You had Jamal Bryant, the Rainbow Coalition, he out there with Messy Jesse, and a whole host of beta male race hustling preachers out there. When the dude Ben, his name is Ben Bergquam. I talked about this on the channel the other day. When he questioned them, why are y'all advocating for illegal immigrants? Why are y'all advocating for illegal immigrants when they affect the jobs that black people could do? He said black jobs. People get upset about black jobs. We talk about the black community. We talk about black schools. We talk about black businesses. But people tend to get in their feelings when you say black jobs. I don't understand it. But here is a brother right here, an American, who I would assume is unemployed, going down in Nebraska to go get one of these jobs that they say he don't want to do. Make that make sense, man. Make that make sense, man. Again, I got to go back because people got in their feelings. You know what I'm saying? Because Ben Bergquam, and others, they said black jobs. But we talk about black people, black schools, black community, black business. But people get in their feelings when we start talking about black jobs. We start talking about the jobs that black people do, the jobs that black people want to do, especially in the majority black communities. Let's keep it a buck, man. People got in their feelings behind that. For why? For why? And here we got a brother right here filling out an application for a meatpacking plant. A job that they said that black people wouldn't be interested in doing. I'm telling you, man, you got a lot of folks out here listening to these people that got them hustling backwards. And you're absolutely right, unapologetic one. Soon as he asked that question, soon as that question was asked, hey, Kiwan, you're absolutely right. Construction used to be a black job. You're absolutely right. A lot of your guys, a lot of those jobs back in the day, a lot of the brothers had those jobs. Your brick masons, your carpenters, all throughout the construction industry. Shout out to Dion with the $2 super chat. Thank you very much. I was just talking with black folks on Facebook on this topic. Clarify that for me, Dion. I don't need you to send a super chat, but clarify that conversation for me a little bit. People be getting in their feelings about the wrong things, man. Seriously. I ain't hear, everybody was in their feelings when the man brought up black jobs in a black community while they're actually, hear this now, boycotting Target, who actually employs thousands of black people. You know what I'm saying? So they're boycotting a company that actually not only hires black people, but also supports black business because there's a lot of products, you know what I'm saying, inside of Target that there's a lot of products inside of Target that, there are black business owners. They have their products inside of those stores. So people talk about, oh, we want generational wealth. We need businesses. We want to do this. But then you have the very people that say these things. They go out and then they boycott your business and your opportunity. It's ridiculous, man. But it's somebody like myself. I'm a sellout, right? I'm a sellout, right? For advocating for people like him, people like this guy right here. And I'm sure he wasn't the only one. I'm sure he wasn't the only one. Thousands of people pulled up for these jobs. There's only 100 jobs open right now. And they said that people that look like him wouldn't be interested in those opportunities. I'm glad I came across this story. People don't understand the effect that these daggone illegals, that they have, on everybody in the country. Everybody in the country. They're taking jobs from our people. Shout out to Pop O Naya Shelley with the $2 super chats. Illegals took over trucking out west. Get them out. I don't know anything about the West Coast. I don't live out there and I don't know much about the West Coast, but it don't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me. But who's advocating for people like him? Seriously. Who's advocating for people like him? People got in their feelings, though. People got in their feelings when that dude asked that question. Why y'all advocating for illegal immigrants when they directly affect your community? Why y'all advocating for these dudes? Why? And here it is. We got this brother here filling out an application for a job at a meatpacking plant. So he can provide for himself. I would assume maybe he has a family that he needs to provide for. People got to understand that when people act like we're going to turn our nose up at a job that pays halfway decent, men will do what needs to be done. Men will work jobs for 30 years that they hate around people that they despise and are work for bosses that they can't stand. And they'll do it for 30 years so they can take care of their family. But you'll get somebody like Jasmine Crockett, Jamal Bryant, who else? And a whole bunch of these, race hustling grifters out there tell you, black man, black woman, oh man, you don't want to do those jobs. You won't do those jobs. I mean, it's ridiculous. It is Ridiculous. I'm so glad that I ran across this article right here, man. Seriously. And I know plenty of people that would take these types of jobs. My little cousin, he ain't go to college. He don't have any interest in it. Hell, he barely got his daggone GED. You know what I'm saying? He just want a job so he can take care of himself. Fortunately, he don't have any kids and he's not married, but he wants a job so he can take care of himself. Dude right now, and that's my cousin, my little cousin. This is, one of my youngest cousins, but God bless him, man. He's working as a janitor. These are the types of jobs that they say that black people wouldn't do. He's working as a janitor. You know what I'm saying? It's a good little gig, pays him well, enough for his car. He's got a little place to stay. You know what I'm saying? He is doing okay, but you let these freaking race hustling grifters out there tell you that black people aren't interested in a janitorial position. You a lie and a half. You a lie and a half. It's ridiculous, man. But I'm glad I came across that story, man. But it just upsets me. It upsets me when these people get out here and they actually advocate against us. Advocate against us. It drives me crazy, man. It drives me crazy. And if you are a black person in this stream, y'all know black folks work all types of jobs, from low level, mid level, high level. You know what I'm saying? I got family members, that are truck drivers. I got family members, that do janitorial work. One of my cousins he started off as a janitor. Now he owns his own janitorial business. You know what I'm saying? I got family members that worked at warehouses. Like, come on, man, stop it. Stop acting like we aren't willing to do these jobs. Stop acting like Americans aren't willing to go work at the meat packing company or at the daggone warehouse and push packages. Stop acting like that, man. We ain't all got our nose in the air thinking that we need to make $100,000+ a year. And the reality of it is most people in the country don't make $100,000 a year. Only 18% of the country's population make $100,000 or more a year. 18%. And LS, you're absolutely right. Black jobs are jobs, that black people have. And I agree with you there. But I just find it funny that people get in their feelings when, they say, hey, these are, people use the term black jobs, but they could say jobs that black people do. Either way, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, but people get in their feelings. But we'll talk about black schools, the black community, and we'll talk about black business. Matter of fact, if somebody owns a business that is black, they'll put a sign up in it to let you know this is a black business. If I'm blind, I'm flying. If I'm blind, I'm flying. But y'all draw the line at jobs for black people or black jobs. That's where you draw the line at. But then you out there with a picket sign saying we want jobs. It's an oxymoron, man. These people are hypocrites. It's ridiculous. Now, I do agree that jobs are jobs. I do agree with you, Quincy. But I'm just trying to get an understanding, when you out there, advocating for jobs, but you're also advocating for people that actually take your jobs. Come on, man. Oh man, we need more businesses. I do agree with that. But what you guys got to understand is that an illegal immigrant will come in and they will undercut you by half. You're trying to do good work and you put out a good bid. Let's say, for instance, you're a general contractor of some sort. You go and you put a bid, on a project. Right? Maybe you put a bid out there, it's a $5,000, maybe it's a $6,000 bid on a project. An illegal immigrant will come in and they will undercut you. We'll do it for $3,000. They'll do it at a number that they know you can't do. They know you're not going to do. They will slice you. They'll do it at a number that they know you can't do. Shout out to Dion with the $5 super chat. D Maria reacts. Y'all go check her channel out. She says, told the dummies on my Facebook that black jobs are just entry-level jobs that blacks gladly will work. I got chewed out on FB by Christians yesterday. Well, the reality of it is this. Black jobs aren't just entry-level jobs. These are jobs, these are jobs that they're not entry-level jobs. These are jobs that a lot of these folks will have for 20 years. One of my really good friends is a janitor currently, custodian currently, in the last position he had, he was there 13, 14 years. And he was able to work his way up a little bit, you know, and got into some management and things of that nature. But I mean, they try to throw it out there like we're not interested in these types of positions, like we won't do it, like we're too good. I mean, come on, man, stop it. They need to stop the lies, man. Seriously. But I had to get that off my chest, man. So I'm glad I was able to share that with you guys. And I'm glad that article came across my daggone timeline. I'm glad it did. Because there were some people in the daggone comment section when I did that video on Jamal Bryant that were upset at the term black jobs. Like we all out here in corporate America. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it, I say. Seriously. Okay. I'm off that rant. I'm off that rant. I'm off that rant. I'm sorry. It just makes me mad. It really upsets me, man, because I have family members that are doing these types of positions. They're doing them, and they're doing them with pride. They love their job. And they're proud that they got a job that affords them the ability to take care of themselves and their families. So it upsets me. It upsets me when people say that, oh, you know, black people won't do these types of jobs, or Americans won't do these types of jobs. We're too good for them. Are you kidding me? Think about this, man. 100 positions open, and they got flooded with like thousands of daggone job applications out there in Nebraska. And I would assume that's just one story. That's just one story. I would assume that there are so many more stories out there just like it. Seriously. But I digress, man. I'm sorry. I went on a tangent. I apologize. But you know, hit that like button if you haven't done so already, man. Hit the like button, man, and thank everybody for thank all of you guys, man, supporting the channel financially via the super chats, man. I really appreciate you guys. And finally, we got to switch gears for a moment. We don't really talk sports on the channel, but I feel like, you know, this is a story that's kind of been going out there. It's been out there for a while. You know, so I felt like I guess it made sense to kind of discuss it a little bit. And we got to talk about what's really going on with Caitlin Clark. I want to talk about the WNBA. I'm about to put on my Fearless with Jason Whitlock hat, you know, because you know that dude loves some daggone WNBA. Some people don't like him. You know what I'm saying? And I can't say that I agree with everything. I can't say that I do. I don't agree, you know, with everything from J-Dub, but, you know, there are some things that I do agree with on, you know, and, you know, I can appreciate his hustle. You know, I definitely can appreciate that. But let's talk about Caitlin Clark, you know, and let's talk about that for a second, because we're seeing history made. We're seeing history made in a league that has never turned a profit, might I add. You know what I'm saying? They lost $40 million last year. Now, all my ladies in the chat, I got to ask a question. Hey, I needed to change my hats. I should have been prepared. I did have, I got some other hats that I could have put on. I could have put on, you know, one of my Ravens hats or something along those lines. But, you know, I probably should have been prepared to switch hats. But how many of the ladies, you know, in the chat right now, how many of y'all guys watch the WNBA? Seriously, how many of you guys watch the WNBA? Seriously. Put a 1 in the chat if you watch the WNBA. LS, I understand. I definitely understand. J-Dub, he can be a little, you know, he can rub people the wrong way, and he's rubbed me the wrong way a few times. You know what I'm saying? But I do appreciate that, you know, I think his heart is in the right place. I do think his heart is in the right place, even if we disagree. Oh, the ladies never watch it. None of y'all watch it? Wow. None of you guys watch the WNBA? Now, let me ask this question here. Unapologetic One says, I prefer to watch the NBA. My wife feels the exact same way. I asked her, I was like, babe, you want to go to a WNBA game? She's like, please, no. No. You know, that's what I find it funny, because they're like, oh man, they should be paid. They should make more money. They should make just as much money as the NBA players. I mean, we're talking about a league that's never turned a profit. The only reason why the league is still in existence at this point is the fact that the NBA is subsidizing it. You know, it's literally a welfare league. That's really what it is in the grand scheme of things, right? Now I got to ask a question. All the ladies that say that they don't watch the WNBA, all all the ladies that say they don't watch the WNBA. How many of you guys do watch either, the NBA, maybe you watch some college football, maybe you watch college basketball, some other sport, out there. Maybe you're into soccer or something along those lines. How many of you guys watch other sports? Put a 2 in the chat if you are a young lady here in the chat and you watch other sports. Put a 2 in the chat for me. Look at Dion talking about some heck to the no. Y'all are a mess. Now, Seaberger says she just CC. So she likes Caitlin Clark. I think a lot of people like Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is she's a baller. She is a baller. Oh, Lori Addison, you a trip. Oh, y'all said it's boring? Yeah, it can be a little boring. It can be a little boring. Dion said the WNBA, the whack NBA. Oh, y'all are hardcore, man. Y'all are hardcore. Oh, man, y'all hardcore, man. Y'all are hardcore. Oh, man, but hey, right now in the league, history is being made. It's being made. I don't know if you guys watch it. I mean, I know a lot of you guys said y'all don't watch it. But history is being made in the WNBA right now. And a lot of folks seem to be either ignoring it or downplaying it, or worse, getting mad about it. And we've got to call it what it is. We got to call it what it is, right? The WNBA right now, man, there's a whole lot of jealousy, a whole heck of a lot of gatekeeping. And yes, there may be even, a little racism or something along those lines creeping into the league, creeping into the narrative around Caitlin Clark's success. Let's just keep it a buck. Caitlin Clark just came back from injury and basically picked up right where she left off. I mean, this chick was on fire the other day. She is like the female version of Steph Curry right now. She's got handle. She can shoot from the logo. I mean, she's dropping threes from 27 feet like it's a warm-up, torching defenders from 31 feet like it's second nature, man. She is legitimately like the female Steph Curry. You haven't seen anything like it. If you have not watched at least her play, if you haven't watched her play, this young lady can ball. She is a baller. I don't really watch basketball like that anymore. I used to be a really big NBA fan. I can't get into it anymore for whatever reason. I just can't. So you guys know the only sports I actually watch right now is the NFL and college football. And depending on the direction of the NFL at this point, they might not be getting my eyeballs either. You know what I'm saying? They might not be getting my eyeballs either. But Caitlin Clark, she put up 9 points in 42 seconds. 9 points in 42 seconds. The young lady's a baller. What's she doing, man? I'm telling you, she's like the female Steph Curry, and she is making it look easy. But the WNBA, again, when you start talking about hustling backwards, when you start talking about fumbling the bag, the WNBA is hustling backwards right now. That's my phrase of the day. Hustling backwards. The WNBA, they're hustling backwards right now. And instead of celebrating this young lady whose talent is just off the charts, man, when it comes to female basketball players, talent's off the chart. But you got a lot of folks that want to focus on some manufactured drama, off-court controversy. They want to make it all about identity politics. I mean, why is it so hard to give this woman her flowers? Why? Caitlin Clark is single-handedly transforming the WNBA. That's the thing that I don't understand about the league right now. Honestly, I think they need a new commissioner. I think the WNBA needs a new commissioner. They need a man, a business-savvy man as a commissioner that does not care about these hating women in the league right now that don't care about their feelings. Think about this, man. In the NBA, that's the one thing I will say, that there is a stark difference between the way men move and the way women move. There is a stark difference between the way men move and the way women move. Back in the day, the NBA was flailing. In the 70s, the NBA was flailing A lot of their games was on tape delay. You know, the players, they was not making that much money during that time frame. The league was not popular at all. And in 1979, the year that I was born, 1979, you had two guys take college basketball by storm by the name of Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. And the following year, they get to the NBA. And the NBA, the commissioner, the NBA says, man, we putting all the promotion on Bird versus Magic. Bird versus Magic. We putting the energy behind these two. And man, the league exploded. And then, what is it? 5 years later, 1985. Am I right with that? 1985 or 1986? Either 5 years later or 6 years later. I can't remember the exact year that Jordan was drafted. But you get a kid out of North Carolina by the name of Michael Jeffrey Jordan. And this kid, they say, man, this dude is phenomenal. We're putting the promotion behind, hey, Bird and Magic, they still there, but they got to fall back because this kid, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, this kid, we putting the money behind him. We putting the money behind him. And the league exploded. Everybody's money went up to the point now where you got dudes that are going to make $100 million a year in the NBA right now on the backs of legends like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Let's just keep it a buck. So fast forward to 2024. No, Bird was anything but humble. He was not a humble player. And if you listen to the stories about Bird, man, he was out there talking trash. He was out there talking trash. You know what I'm saying? Bird was a bad dude. If I can show y'all, man, I have a Larry Bird signed jersey right now. Number 33, the green one. Right now. Bird was a bad dude. Bad dude. Again, I was a huge NBA fan back in the day. Huge NBA fan back in the day. Shout out to my guy Aaron with the $5 super chat. Says Jason Whitless is a big old. Oh, come on now, bro. We're not going there. We talked about this, you know, and I really like Caitlin Clark. She can ball. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Come on, bro. Not productive. Not productive at all. You can disagree, but not productive at all. But Caitlin Clark, man, the WNBA, they finally get someone on the level of a Bird, Magic, Jordan. You finally get one. Now, what we do know is if a man was in charge of the league right now, a business savvy man that would ignore the feelings of these hating women in the league and say, hey, we got us one. We about to put we're putting all the money, all the promotion, all of that. We're putting all the money, all the promotion behind Caitlin Clark because we're going to blow the league up on her back, just like the NBA did with Michael Jordan and Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. Just like they did there, we're about to do the same thing. We're going to have commercials. There was no reason that Caitlin Clark should not have been on the NBA, been on the Olympic team last year. And to be honest with you, I think Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese should have been on the daggone Olympic team last year. They were going to win the gold no matter what. But you got two really popular players coming into the league. The WNBA is hustling backwards, man. They had two really good players. Now, Angel Reese, not on a level, but they basically got their Bird Magic in Caitlin Clark. They got a Michael Jordan type figure in a Caitlin Clark, but they got their Bird Magic in Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. The rivalry goes back to the national championship game a few years back. Y'all all seen it. They got it. They hustling backwards. They lost $40 million last year. It's one of the most insufferable leagues in all of sports. The women aren't likable. Shout out to Dion with the $2 super chat. Says the way Wise says now is hilarious. I'm going to go back and listen to that. But the league is hustling backwards, man. Seriously. They are fumbling the bag big time. And the fact that Caitlin Clark signed with Nike, now y'all know I've been following this because I actually know a decent amount about the WNBA. And I only started watching it because of Caitlin Clark. I'm not even going to lie to you. I like to see good basketball. You know, now she does take some ill-advised shots from time to time, but the fact that she can jack it from the logo and drop it like that, come on, man, 9 points in 42 seconds. I mean, the chick's a baller, man. The WNBA finally got one. They actually got two. They could have capitalized on it last year. They could have put both ladies on the Olympic team. Even if they didn't get that much burn, they could have put both ladies on the Olympic team. I mean, come on, man. They put Brittany Griner over a Caitlin Clark on the Olympic team. She's trash. As my guy, as my guy down in Texas, what is that dude's name? Bubba Dub. Trash. Oh man, trash. But they had it. They got it. And they refuse to capitalize on it, but they expect people are supposed to watch it anyway. And they're supposed to make more money anyway. They're fumbling their bag, man. The Indiana Fever, a franchise that barely got national attention before she arrived, is now breaking viewership records because of this young lady. Her games are averaging over 1 million viewers. Her games alone average more views than the entire league itself combined. The regular season game marking her return pulled in nearly 3 million people. 3 million people watch Caitlin Clark come back off a two-week span. I was going to pay tickets to go to the game because they played the Mystics and they were going to play them in Baltimore City. I was going to get tickets to go to the game and she got hurt. And I was like, I ain't buying no ticket to go watch them. I was only going to buy a ticket to go watch her. That's it. I was going to get a ticket to go watch her. That's it. I was willing to pay because they were up here. They were going to play in Baltimore. I was going to go watch it. And I was only going to watch it because of Caitlin Clark. Because the chick can ball. They had 3 million people watch her first game back. That's not just a win for her. That's a win for the entire league. She's generating money. She's drawing fans. She's boosting merchandise sales and even causing franchise valuations to spike. The Fever went from being valued at $90 million to $340 million in a season. In a season. $90 million evaluation, which for the life of me, I don't even understand how that is the case because we're talking about a league that loses money. This was a team that was probably losing money. So the fact that they had a $90 million evaluation is just mind-boggling. That is baffling. But they're saying that the team is now worth upwards of $340 million. Y'all know that's only because of Caitlin Clark. It's only because of one player. I mean, what is that, a 350% increase in one season? I might be off on the math. I'm rounding. The WNBA is fumbling the bag. They're fumbling the bag, man. So, I don't know. Could this be the reason? Could this be the reason why she's the most fouled player this season? She's the most fouled player this season. I mean, come on. I'm not saying that you shouldn't play her tough. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be physical, but there is a such thing as the Jordan rules. Jordan, people are like, oh man, Jordan gonna get all the calls. Yeah, because people showed up to watch him. When Jordan played for the Wizards, I wasn't living out here then, but you guys know that the Wizards trash. They're trash right now, but they were really bad back then. Jordan, and they sell out. They signed Jordan, or I guess he kind of signed himself, I guess. And they start selling out. And they ran it up, man. But I want y'all to hear from Brittany Griner real quick. I want y'all to hear from the homie himself.
I don't remember what you said
during that viral moment after you fouled out against the Indiana Fever. A lot of people believe what you said was effing white girl or effing white girls. Is it possible that's what you said?
No, would never say that. Like, there's no place for that in our league. Wouldn't say that.
So even though you can't remember, you know that that was not what you said?
I know it wasn't that because I wouldn't use that type of language.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That is a deep voice for a chick. I'm just saying. That voice, her voice almost sounds deeper than mine. Sheesh. Hey, Aaron, her voice might be deeper than yours. Oh, man. Y'all don't pay me no mind. I don't know. A lot of people, they're speculating, when it came to that particular situation there, right? People speculating and all that. Y'all know how that goes. So, okay. Give me 1 second here. I need to do something. And we'll keep things rocking and rolling. All right, there we go. Okay. I wanted to make sure that I got that pulled up real quick. Give me 1 second here. Sorry about that, guys. Alrighty. So, people lip reading and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I think that particular situation is, kind of a much ado, about nothing, to be honest with you. It's kind of a nothing burger in my opinion. But, one thing's clear here. Caitlin Clark, she gets a lot of hate. She gets a lot of it. And honestly, man, it doesn't make sense to me because if the WNBA was doing things right, she would be the catalyst for all of their salaries. I mean, look, I get it, man. The other thing I think is crazy. The other thing that I also think is crazy is, I don't know who her agent is, and I'm talking about Caitlin Clark here. I'm not sure who Caitlin Clark's agent is, but they had her sign like a 10-year deal with Nike. I wish she wouldn't have did. I wish she would have signed with New Balance, an American company who manufactures their shoes right here in the United States. I'm not a Nike fan. I don't wear Nikes. I refuse to wear Nikes for a couple of reasons. One reason, they hurt my feet, but I just don't like them. And I'm not going to support, Nike. I do rock a lot of New Balances. For those of you guys that know anything about the DMV, it's a New Balance. This is a New Balance area. Folks rock the heck out of New Balances out here. And I actually like New Balances. One, they're comfortable, but American company, they manufacture their shoes right here. American company, they manufacture their shoes right here. But the reason why I bring that up is that Caitlin Clark is on year 2 and she don't have a signature shoe. Again, fumbling the bag. You have the most popular female to ever play basketball. You got the most popular female basketball player on the planet and she doesn't have her own signature shoe. Nike fumbling the bag. She should have been had her daggone signature shoe out. Last time I checked, if I'm not mistaken, when Jordan, his first year, signature shoe. LeBron came into the league, signature shoe. Year 1. Fumbling the bag. So I don't know who her agent is, but there is no way I would have had her sign a 10-year deal with Nike. Absolutely no way. You're not signing a 10-year deal. First off, you're not signing a 10-year deal with anybody. That's just stupid. 10-year deal? Are you crazy? Especially if it ain't a Billy, no way. You don't do that. If I was her agent, there is no way I'm allowing you to sign 10-year nothing. Not as no daggone rookie. Not as no rookie. I would have much preferred her to go get a deal with New Balance and say, hey, I want a royalty deal. I don't need all the bread up front, but give me a royalty on every shoe that gets sold. Kind of like what MJ did. Yeah. And Mel, you're absolutely right. Said black players were complaining when they were talking about Caitlin Clark's signature shoe. That's what I'm talking about. The hate. And my thing is, if you are a business, you have a player that is the most popular player in the league and they don't have their own signature shoe. This doesn't make any sense. Not from a business standpoint. Not from a business standpoint. not from a business standpoint. Yeah, well, hey, Marco, Shaq and Iverson with the Reebok, and they both run Reebok Sports now. But y'all recall, Shaq, he walked away from Reebok, started his own company, came out with the Dunks. He made $400 or $500 million off of those joints. Affordable shoe that he got a higher piece of the cut. Awesome. And yeah, now you got, Shaq and you got AI running Reebok right now. I know they signed Angel Reese, and even I think Angel Reese is actually rocking Shaq's old shoes. Them some ugly shoes, man. And I ain't talking about Angel Reese. I don't want to talk about her. I'm just talking about the sneakers. Them things is ugly. Them things is ugly. But the NBA, the WNBA, they hustling backwards, bro. They hustling backwards, man. They really are. I mean, the WNBA, they've always had layers. They've always had layers, race, gender, sexuality, activism, all wrapped in, around the actual basketball itself. And that's a lot of reason why, the league, it just hadn't done well. And for years, there have been black women that have carried the league. When you start talking about Cheryl Cooper, who was a baller, there's been some people that played in the league that could really, really ball. You got Candace Parker, who I think at this point, she might be considered the greatest player to ever play in the WNBA. Just pure skill set. I think Caitlin Clark has the ability to overtake her. We don't want to anoint her yet because she ain't been in the league that long, but I think she has the ability to overtake her over the span of her career, but she's got to win some championships and things of that nature. So, hey, I'm not hating on the four mothers of the league. There's been some good players that have been able to play, and they definitely deserve the credit. But instead of building bridges and embracing someone who is bringing eyeballs to the league, which is something that they told us that they wanted, they want more people to watch the games. You finally got one, and they decided we don't want to promote. It's not the right person. Some voices have decided to treat Caitlin Clark like an outsider because I guess she doesn't have enough melanin. They're claiming that she's only getting the love because she's white, not because she can ball. I don't really care who she is. Dude, if there was a sister out there, if there was a black woman out there balling like this, she would get that type of respect. She would get that type of love. I mean, this lady is coming down, hitting logo threes. Shout out to Goose with the $2 super chat. Says, I think off the court, it's very important too. But here's the thing, man. Talent is talent. Talent is talent. And the resentment toward Clark, I mean, it isn't just about her skin color. It's also about the fact that she's rewriting what dominance looks like in women's basketball. And there's a lot of people upset over this. Some folks have come out and said she doesn't even play basketball. I'm sorry. Goodness gracious. There's a lot of people that are hating. A lot of people hating on this lady. You got Megan Rapinoe, who doesn't play ball, retired soccer star, who's now, a vocal critic of Clark's impact on the WNBA. How can you be a critic of her impact on the WNBA when she's actually bringing people to the daggone league? People want to watch the games. During a recent episode, of the A Touch More podcast, Sue Bird, Rapinoe, and I know these are two insufferable individuals. Again, two insufferable individuals. They issued a warning to Clark and the Indiana Fever, about their complaints about officiating. She pointed out that the Fever coach, Stephanie White, was fined for recent comments on the refs, and she's worried Clark's team is becoming known as the ones who cry wolf. Let's watch this daggone foolishness of a podcast, but let's take a look at this clip here.
This highlight goes to pull from three, and Natasha pokes it out from underneath. I didn't think it was a foul. But what ultimately ended up happening was everybody was chatting about the refs. And Stephanie White was, in particular not happy. She quote said, "I thought she got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games." I know, Megan, you have some thoughts on this.
It's not even the last few games. If any of you guys watched any Caitlin Clark games last year, and I did, I watched a handful of Caitlin Clark games. They was mauling the lady. They were mauling her out there. And it's not just that they're playing tough defense. Some of this, they were just flat out mauling her. It was bad. And a lot of times she wasn't getting the call. And my thing is that you guys know, back in the day in the NBA, you know what I'm saying? Now, today's NBA is different. Today's NBA is different. I don't watch it today. But back in the day, you had some enforcers out there. You had the Charles Oakleys. You had the Anthony Masons of the world. You know, you had the Dale brothers of the world that their star player. Think about this. The things that happen to the things that are happening to Caitlin Clark. The things that are happening to Caitlin Clark on Charles Oakley watch, that wouldn't happen. Charles Oakley was MJ's protector before he left Chicago. And he was that guy up there in New York for the Knicks. You know, the fact that she would get knocked down on the floor and then none of her teammates would go and try to help her up. Ridiculous. Now, they got some fight about him now. They got a little bit of fight about him now.
Well, first of all, cheeky little steal by Tosh.
Yeah.
That was like, that's some, like,
that's elite. I don't think people understand how elite that is.
Exactly. That's some, like, I mean, I feel like when we talk about creativity, we always talk about it on offense or in an offensive setting. But yeah, when you have like really elite defenders like that, I feel like especially guards, because they're having to like do so much. Shout out Tasha. That was nice. Just like poking it out from like underneath.
Well, something to add to that before you get into your referee take. I can't remember if it was a quote Natasha said or somebody else said, but listen, the longer you're in this league, the more people know your rhythms and your habits. And what Caitlin has shown is when she goes left, she shoots. When she goes right, she drives. And so when you're a defender and you know that, that's another part of like the understanding and then what can be tapped into in terms of the creativity. Like I'm sure Natasha knew, oh, she crossed over, she's going left, like she's pulling at some point.
Yeah.
And
like
so you can kind of read it.
Her right?
You can just, I mean, her right? No, her left. She's going left, she has the ball in her left hand.
But if she's coming to gather it, then
it's on her left side.
Okay.
And so it's coming over, and so that's when she tipped it.
Yeah, right.
The ball
Okay,
hadn't
that's
got
what
off her
I'm saying.
left hip yet.
Gotcha.
And so you're able to read these things, and that's where Natasha's really showing herself as an elite defender. But obviously, some people thought it was a foul.
Well, Stephanie White thought it was a foul for sure. You know, I'm just like, I did a fair bit of complaining in my day too. I would say the majority of my yellow cards and the only 2 red cards I've ever received all came from jawing at the ref about fouls. So I actually don't think I have any leg to stand on here. Nevertheless, here I am. I'm just like, you don't want to become the girl, the team, the coach, the player who cries wolf all the time. It's just like, I feel like sometimes it's just like constant. And like, to what end? And I think especially around the Fever team and especially around Caitlin, this has like been a thing. It was a thing last year. Like sometimes you just have to like play through it and like earn a little bit more respect or whatever. And then like things just kind of play themselves out. I don't know. I just feel like constantly having that narrative doesn't do your team or you really any good. With that said,
now, to an extent, I actually agree with Rapinoe here. As a player, I don't think that you should be, going at the referees for a call or for not a call. Coach, that is your job. Your job is to work the referees. Now, a lot of you guys don't know, I ref basketball at this point. I still do. I ref basketball. I've been reffing basketball for a little while. I ref high school. I don't want to do college just because I don't want the travel. So I ref high school here. So varsity, JV games, varsity, and I'll do some middle school games out here as well. I don't want to hear a player talking to me about a call. I understand the coach. The coach's job is to have those conversations. And to be honest with you, during the game, I don't want to hear a coach arguing for a call. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. I don't want to hear a coach arguing for a call, but I understand that a coach, that's your job. Your job is to have those conversations with the refs, not the players. So I do understand, hey, you play through it. When I coach football. I coach basketball a couple times. I coach my kids' teams and things of that nature, but I coach football for a long time. I would always tell the kids, let us deal with the referees. You play ball. We'll deal with the referees. So to Rapinoe's defense, I definitely, I understand where she's coming from. I do understand, and you don't want to be the player or the team that cries wolf, always whining and complaining, with the refs. Because what you do got to know is that we do talk to each other. It's not always the same crew all the time. It's not always the same crew all the time. And a lot of times, we get assigned games, and a lot of times it's not the same people. Every now and again, you'll be, with someone that you've worked with before, but it's not the same crew that go around from game to game to game. And, I know for me, we do have these conversations. We have a pregame meeting, as referees, where there's a pregame meeting before the games, and we talk about it. Hey, have you had this school before? Have you had either one of these? What are the players like? We talk about, how we're gonna ref the games and all these other types of things, what we're looking for and things of that nature. This coach can get a little rowdy. Oh, they got a little player that likes to whine a lot. You know what I'm saying? So these are just a lot of things. Like we're conversing, we're having these conversations just so we know, okay, this is what we're walking into when we go out there on the court. So I've been reffing basketball for a little bit. I mean, it's cool, but on the high school level. But I just don't have any interest on the college level, just due to the fact that, man, the travel and for what it pays. I mean, it pays okay, but it'd be difficult for me to do this and ref on the college level when I got to drive, 2-3 hours because, the teams, the leagues, the way it's set up, but I know y'all don't want to hear about that, but I understand the coach. I understand the coach coming out and saying something, especially, when it comes after a flagrant foul call, against a Caitlin Clark in a game against the Chicago Sky, where she was penalized for a play involving Angel Reese. Clark defended herself in the post-game press conference saying, let's not make anything, of that, or let's not make it anything that it's not. But it was just a good basketball play. And if you guys recall that, it was a good basketball play. It was a hard foul. I would say it was a hard foul, but it was a good basketball play. You put a player that can't shoot on the daggone free throw line. If I'm coaching, I'm doing it all the time. Hey, you get no easy layups here. And if I'm fouling you, I got to foul you hard enough to put you on the line, because we expect that you're going to miss them, because we don't respect you. We don't respect your ability to shoot. So it was a good call, but I don't really know, what the refs saw to upgrade that the way they did, but it's their discretion. It really is. So I don't want to get on here. I ain't here to, get on the refs, but I don't think it was anything malicious. But Caitlin, she goes on to say that's not the type of player she is. And, for the ball and, if you look at it, I mean, it's a clear replay. It kind of shows that, but it's, in my opinion, it probably shouldn't have been upgraded. But Fever coach Stephanie White, she echoed concerns about consistency in officiating, especially after the loss to the Washington Mystics without Clark. Obviously, she says that I think that we can get better in certain areas as far as how we call the game, consistency with how we call the game. That is the one thing that I've heard as someone that has ref basketball is be consistent on both sides of the court. You know what I'm saying? Be consistent on both sides of the court. Don't do something on one side that you won't do on the other side. And then you and your partners, y'all got to make sure that y'all on the same page. So everybody is calling the game the same, right? And there's some consistency there. So I don't have a problem with her coming out and saying, hey, we just need some consistency. I don't have an issue with that, because she went on to say that, are we going to say that, we want a free-flowing offensive game, or are we going to have to, have these tough, grinded out physical games? Whichever one it is, it's fine. The players will adjust. Just be consistent. And the coaches and the players will adjust. But we can't have it, one way, one quarter, and then another way, another quarter. Now, my rule of thumb is to call things tighter in the first half, with hopes that we don't have to do these things in the second half, because you understand this is where we are with things. This is the standard that's been set. That's kind of how we go about doing things. At least that's how I like to do things, when I'm getting prepared or when I'm reffing games. I would prefer to be tighter in that first half. Those first two quarters, we're going to call it really, really tight, hoping that you guys understand this and you guys will play the game a little cleaner towards that second half, especially going down into the fourth quarter. But either way, Rapinoe's comments, I understand where she's coming from. I do. But when you start talking about Caitlin Clark, this lady is not just a player. She is a phenom. her ability to draw millions of viewers, sell out arenas, and redefine the game's possibilities, it's unprecedented. The WNBA is fumbling the bag right now with a probably once-in-a-generation player. They got a once-in-a-generation player. They do. They're fumbling the bag. The officiating complaints, they're just a part of a broader narrative, where her success, it's been met with resistance dating back to last year. And it's not just from peers, but from cultural figures like Rapinoe and then, other people on ESPN, just the clips that I've seen. Now, y'all guys know I don't watch ESPN except when college football seasons are here because watch it for college football. But I don't watch ESPN. Their shows are trash. I don't watch it. You want any information, on what's going on with your teams and things of that nature? Man, I get that from the independent guys, on YouTube and things of that nature. I'll find those guys that cover one team or the teams that I like, and, I'll listen to that. But ESPN's trash. Fox News, Fox Sports isn't much better either, to be honest with you. Mainstream media is not good overall, across the board, regardless of, what you're talking about. But, I digress on that. But a lot of folks out there, they seem more focused on policing her response to the adversity than celebrating the achievements. And honestly, it's a shame, man, because Clark's rewriting the script. And instead of lifting her up, some are doing everything that they can to tear her down. And I'll say it plainly. People don't like her because she breaks the mold. Let's just keep it a buck. She breaks the mold, man. She's not gay. She's not black. She's not overly political. She's just a white, straight, Midwestern girl who just happens to be able to shoot the daggone lights out. And to be honest with you, I would prefer the athletes to stay out of politics. Stay out of all of that. You don't have to be a social justice warrior. Just ball. Let your game speak for you, man. You ain't got to get into all of that. And unfortunately, the league's been built around certain identities and certain narratives, which has turned a lot of people off. And unfortunately, that makes her a target. But instead of trying to erase her, maybe, just maybe, the women in that league should start recognizing that Caitlin Clark is the future, and the league can either fight it or embrace it. Now, look, I'm not out here, caping for the lady, calling Caitlin Clark perfect. I'm not. She's a young person. I don't think, and honestly, hell, no one's perfect, right? She's still learning, still adjusting. She still, had to walk a tightrope, around the social media landmines or social landmines out there. But if you're going to preach women empowerment and equality, and then you have success, or if you're going to, let me say that. Let me slow down. If you're going to preach women empowerment and equality, then you have to have support. You got to support people who will help move your league forward. And it shouldn't matter the package that it comes in. It shouldn't matter. Cut all the nonsense. Let's stop pretending that, she's been handed anything. The chick can ball. Flat out ball. She's earned this. I watched video of her when she was in high school. There's some footage out there when she was in junior high. She's been doing this for a long time. This young lady's put some work in on her game. This isn't just some, what they would call, the great white hype or something along those lines, where they prop up somebody just for the sake of them being white, and then they go get in the ring and get knocked out because they really not like that. No, this young lady is like that. She's like that for real. She can really play. And with every deep three, every assist, every sold out game, the league is getting better because she's in it. And the numbers don't lie. And if they could get these hating women on board, man, it would benefit them all. It would benefit them all. But that's all I got for you guys today. Go figure. By myself, almost a 2.5 hour show. Crazy. No call-ins, no guests, just me. Crazy. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show today, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. I do appreciate you guys pulling up, man. Shout out to everybody that supported the channel financially via Super Chat, Super Sticker. Thank you guys very, very much. Shout out to all my ARP family members. Man, I appreciate you guys supporting me in that manner as well. Tomorrow is Friday. I hope you guys are looking forward to the weekend. Shout out to my guy Quincy James with the 4-day weekend. Shout out to you, brother, man. Enjoy yourself, man. Enjoy yourself. I hope you do something fun, man. You're going to break the grill out, man. You grilling or something? You're going to break the grill out and get your cook on. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show today, man. If I don't say so myself, I think today's show might be the best show of the week, in my opinion. Y'all don't understand how hard it is to do this on a day-to-day basis. This is difficult. This is difficult. This is a challenge to do this on a day-to-day basis for an hour and a half to 2.5 hours. This is a challenge. It is definitely a challenge. This has been a new challenge for me. But I appreciate you guys rocking with me, man. Definitely appreciate you. Quincy said, yes, sir. He's definitely going to break the grill out. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. I wish I lived close, man. I definitely would stop by. You, sir, look like you know what you're doing. I am not too proud to come and get a plate. That is the truth. That is the truth. I am not too proud to come and get a plate. Seriously. Seriously. But hey, LS, the callers do make it easier sometimes. Sometimes, we get some, craziness going on or whatever the case may be. But yeah, for the most part, the callers do make it easy. When I can get guests on, they make it easier. They make it easier as well. But still, a lot of times, you get the callers, y'all don't add to what we're talking about. Not in the sense of, you don't add to, the conversation. Just from the topics and things of that nature. So it's still time, putting it together, trying to figure out the topics and what we're going to discuss and things of that nature. So, hey. And cool, Ramon, bro. June 19th, it is Juneteenth. It's not Slavery Day. It's Juneteenth. It's supposed to be the celebration of 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation signed. People out in the Southwest, they were just notified. You got to think, information didn't travel as fast as it did today, right? Information didn't travel as fast as it does today, right? Today, information travels almost at the speed of light, right? Something happens, and regardless of where you are, everybody can know it all at the same time. Back in that time frame, you got to think, it would take people a month, just here, travel 30 miles, it might take you, a couple of weeks, through rough terrain and things of that nature, just up here to travel from Baltimore to DC back in the day. So, yeah. But yeah, I do enjoy doing this stuff. I do enjoy doing it, man, and I do appreciate you guys pulling up and rocking with me, man. Shout out to each and every one of you guys, man. It is hey, y'all enjoy the rest of the day today, this Thursday and Friday Eve. Y'all enjoy it. If you got to go to work, if you're at work, enjoy the rest of your day, man. If you are off from work today, enjoy that as well. Enjoy that as well. Shout out to LA Rams with the $10 super chat. Says what's happening, and hit that like button. Yes, Lord. Thank you very much for the $10 super chat, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. And, shout out to my Blues, shout out to you guys, B, Michelle, well, you know what? Yeah, B, Michelle, Brett Montgomery, T.A. Caskey. I think I seen him in there. Zephyr K9, shout out to you. Thank you all for keeping things peaceful in the chat. I definitely appreciate it, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Hey, we'll be back at this thing tomorrow, man. 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning, man. I hope to see you guys up in here bright and early tomorrow morning. Keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp.